And we start in South Africa. The country's new president, Cyril Ramaphosa, says it is time to consider the makeup of his cabinet. Now, speculation has been growing over who should be retained and who should be replaced. In his first State of the Nation address, Ramaphosa strongly hinted at a cabinet shake-up when he said he would review the makeup and size of government departments. Now, Ramaphosa was sworn in as head of state on Thursday last week after his predecessor, Zuma, resigned under a raft of corruption allegations. The president said he was reflecting on a new cabinet list during his early morning walk.
Now, guys. No, I know.
Well, it's the Matamela March.
Is there time for a reshuffle before budget tomorrow?
Well, you know, this is the time to walk, to reflect, even about cabinets and all that. So this gives me time to reflect as well.
Well, Angelo Coppola now joins us with an update on that reshuffle. He joins us in Johannesburg. Angelo, welcome to the show. Now, there's certainly a lot of speculation that there'll be a total overhaul of the cabinet, and we may even see some former ministers returning. So what do we know so far, Angelo?
On the cabinet reshuffle, the President Ramaphosa, emphatically told the joint sitting of those houses of parliament this afternoon during his response to the debate yesterday that he won't be rushed. He says he'll make an announcement at the appropriate time. The President also castigated opposition parties' members for indulging in character assassination of some of the members of his parliament or of his cabinet yesterday. That was during that debate that he was responding to. While putting a dampener on those reshuffle talks, he also spoke about the size of the country's government today. He said he'll be consulting widely, including the opposition parties, on that restructure of those 47 government departments and 72 ministers and deputy ministers that make up his cabinet. So it appears to some analysts that he's linking the two issues and he won't be rushed on either, saying it would take several months. Ucha?
Well, Angelo, all eyes are on the post of finance minister, and there has been some sort of confirmation that Finance Minister Malusi Gigaba will deliver the full budget speech tomorrow. We also hear that his predecessor, Pravin Gordhan, could be returning to that post. What are the expectations, Angelo? And if Gordhan does return, what does this mean for South Africa?
Well, the confirmation came in terms of who would be delivering that speech tomorrow from Gigaba's deputy, Sifiso Buthelezi. Meanwhile, Gordhan's name has been mentioned as a possibility for a cabinet post, but finance doesn't appear or seem to be the place that he's going to go to. Gordhan says he'd like to be available for only 1 year as a deployment, but he's been mentioned as a possible replacement in the Public Enterprises Department, taking over from Lynn Brown, who hasn't exactly painted herself in glory since taking over that portfolio from the current Finance Minister Gigaba. Gordhan's been doing some sterling work in the Public Enterprises parliamentary subcommittees since he got fired as Finance Minister last year. There have also been some murmurings about whether recycling previous ministers back into the cabinet is a good idea or not. On the other hand, it also speaks volumes about the next generation of politicians who may or may not be waiting in the wings. Ucha?
Now, Angelo, word on the street is that ANC's top officials may meet on Friday, suddenly to discuss the changes to the cabinet. Who are some of the former ministers we could see returning to Ramaphosa's cabinet?
There's no confirmation yet, or second or third source confirmation on that meeting that's meant to take place on Friday. You'll recall that in the recent past, the previous president made cabinet moves his prerogative and delivered his announcements in the dead of the night. No one knew where the axe was going to fall, and that included the sitting ministers. Zuma didn't appear to consult either with anyone in the ruling party or the senior ANC officials before making those changes. So if there are rumors of the top officials meeting to discuss ministerial changes, then it shows that there is a move away from those past processes, or perhaps it's simply speculation. Meanwhile, the names that have been bandied about include obviously Pravin Gordhan, Mcebisi Jonas, who was the Deputy Finance Minister, Nhlanhla Nene, who was a Finance Minister, and Zweli Mkhize.
Well, many thanks as always, Angelo, for that update. Angelo Coppola joining us there in Johannesburg.